Hello everyone, I'm Mr. Khổng. Today we're going to explore the rapid development of artificial intelligence. For years, we've been told that AI would make work easier and give people more time to enjoy life. However, according to Geoffrey Hinton, the scientist widely known as the godfather of AI and the recipient of the 2024 Nobel Prize in Physics, the reality may be very different. He believes that the rapid advancement of AI poses a serious threat to the job market. While the world remains largely unprepared to deal with its consequences, Hinton warns that technology companies are investing trillions of dollars in data centers, advanced chips, and AI models not only to assist people but also to replace human workers at a lower cost. When an AI system can perform the work of multiple employees, businesses have a strong financial incentive to reduce their workforce in order to maximize profits. In recent interviews, Hinton has argued that the goal of many technology companies is not to help people work fewer hours while maintaining the same income. Instead, AI could enable one employee to handle the workload that previously required several people, with most of the economic benefits flowing to the companies that own the technology. As a result, the gap between the rich and the poor could continue to widen as wealth becomes increasingly concentrated among a small number of corporations and tech billionaires. What concerns Hinton the most is not the science fiction scenario of robots taking over humanity. Rather, it is the speed at which AI is reshaping the labor market, while governments and businesses still lack a clear plan to protect workers who lose their jobs. According to him, if this trend continues without effective public policies, millions of people could face major disruptions to their income and career opportunities. Geoffrey Hinton believes that many workers displaced by AI will struggle to find new employment. As artificial intelligence becomes capable of performing an ever-growing range of tasks, the competitive advantage of human workers will steadily shrink. At the same time, society remains unprepared for the possibility of prolonged unemployment. Social support programs are limited, and educational systems have not been able to train people with new skills quickly enough to keep pace with AI's rapid progress. In Hinton's view, humanity is rushing into an era of automation driven by major technology companies without putting adequate safeguards in place for the broader population. If the labor market experiences severe disruption, blue-collar workers and the middle class are likely to be affected first. For that reason, Hinton's warning is more than just a personal concern. It serves as a wake-up call about the potentially far-reaching consequences of artificial intelligence. So which future do you believe is more likely? A world where AI helps people work less and enjoy a better quality of life, as Bill Gates hopes? Or a future of intense competition in which millions of workers are pushed out of the labor market, as Hinton fears? Share your thoughts in the comments, because the decisions we make today will help shape the world of tomorrow. The plow illusion and the hidden cost of profit. To understand why Geoffrey Hinton continues to raise concerns, we first need to answer a fundamental question. Is AI simply a tool that helps people, or is it becoming a competitor? Optimists, including Bill Gates, often compare AI to the invention of the plow, a revolutionary technology that dramatically increased productivity and ushered in a new era of economic progress. It's an appealing comparison, but is reality really that simple? Bill Gates argues that AI will have an impact similar to the plow's transformation of agriculture. The plow did not eliminate farming. It replaced manual labor, allowing farmers to work more efficiently and produce more food. From this perspective, AI will become an assistant for doctors, teachers, software engineers, and many other professionals, helping them automate repetitive tasks so they can focus on uniquely human strengths such as empathy, creativity, and caregiving. Geoffrey Hinton strongly disagrees with this comparison. He argues that equating AI with traditional mechanical tools overlooks a crucial difference. Machines such as plows or looms replaced physical labor, while AI is increasingly capable of performing reasoning, analysis, and decision-making. Once a tool begins handling tasks that previously required human intelligence, it no longer serves merely as an assistant. It becomes a direct competitor to the people using it, according to Hinton. This issue becomes even more significant within a market economy. If AI allows one employee to become several times more productive, businesses face two possible choices. One option is to keep the existing workforce and share the benefits of technological progress, allowing employees to work fewer hours while maintaining stable incomes. The other is to lay off a large portion of the workforce, retain only a small team working alongside AI, and maintain the same level of output at a much lower cost. In reality, Hinton believes that most businesses will choose the second option. Lower labor costs lead to higher profits, stronger stock performance, and greater competitiveness. Market pressure also encourages companies to follow the same strategy if they want to survive. In his view, this is not simply a management decision, it is a natural consequence of competition within the modern economy. Geoffrey Hinton warns that humanity may be walking into a dangerous trap. In his opinion, AI is not being developed primarily to help workers enjoy shorter workweeks or more leisure time. Instead, it is designed to reduce businesses' dependence on human labor. Most of the productivity gains generated by AI are likely to be captured by the individuals and corporations that own the technology, rather than shared with the workforce. If human intelligence, the greatest asset of millions of workers, no longer provides a competitive advantage, the obvious question becomes, how will those people earn a living? Hinton argues that the most troubling aspect of this scenario is that society still has no clear plan for addressing it. He believes that the pursuit of maximum profit will encourage many businesses to replace employees rather than simply use AI as a supporting tool. Unlike traditional machinery such as tractors or excavators, which always require human operators, AI is steadily moving toward performing complex cognitive tasks on its own, including programming, writing, data analysis, and strategic planning. This technology does more than make work faster, it has the potential to replace the very people who once performed these jobs. If an algorithm can complete the same work in seconds at virtually no cost, companies will have little incentive to continue paying high salaries for human employees. That is the biggest difference between AI and previous industrial revolutions. Machines once replaced physical labor, allowing people to move into jobs that required reasoning and creativity. AI, however, is targeting human cognition itself, the very capability that was long considered humanity's final competitive advantage. As a result, the biggest question is no longer what AI can do. Instead, it is this: when machines are not only stronger than human muscles, but are also becoming more intelligent, what unique value will people still have to compete in the job market? Before we continue into the bleak future that Geoffrey Hinton calls having no plan B, take a few seconds to ask yourself a simple question. What skills does your current job require that AI truly cannot replace? 5 years from now, will your profession still exist, or will intelligent algorithms be handling most of the work? Share your thoughts or concerns in the comments below. We read every comment and genuinely appreciate your opinions. Music, endless AI arms race among tech giants. While many people still believe AI will create a brighter future, Geoffrey Hinton sees a very different danger. In his view, the companies leading AI development have become trapped in a competition that no one dares to slow down. Hinton has pointed to the leaders behind companies such as Google, OpenAI, and Meta to illustrate this problem. According to him, these organizations are not deliberately trying to harm society. Instead, relentless competitive pressure leaves them with almost no real choice. If one company pauses AI development because of safety concerns, its competitors will quickly pull ahead. If every company in one country slows down, international rivals will seize the advantage. This is a classic example of the prisoner's dilemma in economics. Everyone recognizes the risks, yet no one wants to be the first to stop. What worries Hinton most is that AI is advancing much faster than our ability to understand its consequences. New models with increasingly powerful capabilities are released one after another, while their impact on employment and the broader economy remains poorly understood. In his view, this race is like placing an extraordinarily powerful technology in the hands of people whose primary goal is simply to win. The issue is not that technology executives want workers to lose their jobs. The real concern is that, in the race to dominate AI, the consequences for millions of people may be treated as nothing more than an acceptable cost of doing business. Companies continue accelerating, while regulations and safeguards struggle to keep pace. As Geoffrey Hinton has warned, this machine is racing forward at incredible speed with almost no brakes. Technological feudalism and the rise of a left-behind class. According to Geoffrey Hinton, AI could create an economic system fundamentally different from traditional capitalism. In the past, money flowed from businesses to workers through wages, and then back into the economy through consumer spending. AI threatens to break the most important link in that cycle, wages. When companies replace people with AI and robots, operating costs fall dramatically. Machines do not need breaks, health insurance, or salary increases. However, lower operating costs do not necessarily mean cheaper products or services. Instead, much of the additional profit is likely to flow to the corporations that own the AI technology. This raises a critical question. Where will the income that once belonged to workers go? Hinton believes that much of this wealth could become concentrated in the hands of a small number of individuals and companies that control AI infrastructure, widening the gap between the rich and the poor. Even more concerning, the problem is not simply unemployment, it is economic redundancy. In the past, workers remained valuable because businesses needed their labor. But if AI can perform the vast majority of tasks, many people may no longer play an essential role in the economy. Rather than being exploited for their labor, they could find themselves excluded from the economic system altogether. To reduce these risks, many experts have proposed a robot tax. The idea is that if AI replaces a human job, the company responsible would pay an equivalent tax to help fund social welfare programs and workforce retraining. What do you think about this proposal? A. I support it because companies that profit from AI should share responsibility with society. B. I oppose it because higher taxes could slow innovation and hinder technological progress. Share your opinion in the comments below. The debate over AI's future and economic fairness may only be getting started. A leap without a parachute. According to Geoffrey Hinton, the greatest danger is not a Hollywood-style robot uprising. It is that humanity is entering the AI era with virtually no backup plan. Think about it. We wear seatbelts when driving and life jackets when entering the water. Yet, as we approach the greatest technological revolution in history, we have no safety system strong enough to protect us. The reason is straightforward. Programs such as unemployment insurance and social safety nets were designed for the economy of the last century, when people who lost their jobs were expected to find new employment after a relatively short period. These systems were built to handle temporary disruptions, not a future in which entire professions disappear. Altogether, many people still believe that losing a job simply means learning a new skill or switching careers. This is also the advice often given by policymakers. But Hinton asks a difficult question. If AI can acquire new knowledge thousands of times faster than humans, what profession will remain safe enough to retrain for? In reality, the gap is widening rapidly. People often spend years earning a college degree or building professional expertise, while AI can absorb enormous amounts of knowledge in a remarkably short time and continues to improve with every new version. By the time you master a new skill, the next generation of AI may already be performing it more efficiently. That is why Geoffrey Hinton argues that we have no real plan B. It is not only because governments lack adequate support policies, but also because retraining may no longer be as effective as it once was. Society is entering an unprecedented era in which the competitive advantage of human skills is shrinking at an extraordinary pace. The purpose of this warning is not to spread fear, but to encourage people to prepare before it is too late. If your current job were to disappear one day, what path would you choose? Would you build passive income, accumulate long-term assets, move into careers that are difficult to automate, or invest in the AI revolution itself? These are questions everyone should begin asking today, before these sweeping changes become reality. Imagine a very realistic scenario. A truck driver loses his job because autonomous vehicles replace human drivers. People advise him to learn programming so he can adapt. Yet by the time he has learned the basics, AI is already writing software faster, more accurately, and at a lower cost than many programmers. What about becoming an artist or a content creator instead? In just a matter of seconds, AI tools can now generate paintings, illustrations, and designs that once required years of practice and experience to produce. This is exactly what concerns Geoffrey Hinton. During previous industrial revolutions, when one profession disappeared, new occupations emerged to replace it. This time, however, AI is competing in both physical labor and knowledge-based work simultaneously, from jobs requiring logical reasoning to creative professions. Technological progress is moving at an incredible speed, while government policies and social safety systems are struggling to keep up. According to Hinton, many governments remain unprepared for this transformation. Debates over AI regulation continue, even as the labor market is already feeling its effects. Critical issues such as taxing AI-driven businesses, redistributing the economic benefits of automation, and creating new social safety nets remain largely unresolved. In Hinton's view, the growing gap between technological advancement and the ability of public policy to adapt represents the greatest risk. He warns that if most of the wealth generated by AI ends up concentrated in the hands of a small group of AI owners while millions of people lose their ability to create economic value, society could face serious instability. When people no longer believe they can improve their lives through work, frustration can quickly build and eventually erupt into widespread social unrest. Even so, Hinton emphasizes that the future has not yet been written. Governments, businesses, and citizens still have an opportunity to act before events spiral beyond control. In your opinion, which solution should receive the highest priority? Should society slow the development of AI to protect jobs, or should it embrace AI while creating a fairer system for distributing its economic benefits? Share your thoughts in the comments. The godfather of AI proposes two particularly noteworthy approaches. First, he suggests implementing a universal basic income to distribute part of the wealth created by AI across society. Second, he advocates strengthening government oversight by requiring technology companies to demonstrate that their AI systems are safe, transparent, and accountable before deploying them on a large scale. Hinton's message is not an attack on any individual or technology billionaire. Rather, he argues that a system focused exclusively on productivity and profit while neglecting human well-being will inevitably create serious and unpredictable consequences. AI itself may be impossible to stop, but society can still demand appropriate regulations to ensure that this powerful technology serves the public good. If we wait until mass unemployment has already spread before taking action, many of the available solutions may come far too late. Thank you for watching. If you found this topic thought-provoking, please leave a comment below and share your perspective. I look forward to seeing you again in the next video.